okay though. Sailor, I've been starting with Trident. I haven't always been sticking only to Tridents though. Finding Blunderbuss actually works really well to have a couple of. Sailor might be interesting on this map in particular because there's less access to Curse, right? Is Sailor going to like be really hard? I can't get Harvesting, dodge kept at 20. Only tier 2 weapons or above, plus 25 starting Curse, and I deal more damage to cursed enemies. It, like, should be okay, probably. I don't know. Pick a Corrupted Shard? Just lock a Trident. Lock a Trident and an Anchor. Let's get our weapons out. Dwarf waiting room? I think I might buy Jelly. It's gonna end up being a +3. I don't think I want the Anchor. I think I'm not going to buy it. Okay, whatever. Sure. I mean, if I'm buying Jelly, I should buy Anchor, right? Okay, whatever. I'll take one roll. Yeah. He's been your teacher. The early waves are easy enough that I think we can get away with buying decently costed stuff, which will be useful at some point. There are other characters where I need to worry about having enough damage for the early waves, but this shouldn't be one of those characters, I don't think. So it's only with naval weapons? Hola, estudiantes. Je m'appelle Jorbs. Et pizza bianca. Freitag. Perfect. Nice. My Spanish is a little rusty, but I'm glad I can still pull it off. Boom, 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 boom. My largest endless win streak so far. Like, how deep into endless have I gotten? Like piggy bank on characters with no harvesting. I don't remember how far my demon run got. But it like never died, I just got bored. Which should add subtitles for streams, like closed captioning. Or like a second title. Do the anchors get to swing at all? See, this is why I didn't think I wanted anchors. The answer is mostly no. As I get more stuff, I may be able to change that though. A bit of range will help them a lot. There should be like more than one way to get closed captions on this stream right now. You would like an LLM to tell you what Jorbs is saying. I don't think captioning software is really an LLM. Like some similar technology, but it's not like ChatGPT is in charge of closed captioning. Jorbs says laughing. Probably when something says curse on it, I want to buy it. Because of the character I am. What's new in your life, Twitch chat? We have made it through the darkest weeks of the year. Here in the northern hemisphere, that's kind of nice. It's been an uncharacteristically dry and clear January in Seattle. I feel like I've actually seen a lot of sun. Very strange. Seattle get a lot of snow. We haven't gotten any this year. Because there's double Horde, I'm gonna buy an incendiary turret. Incendiary turret just does well against Hordes. Bob, thanks for the 64 months. Seattle has a weather thing in winter, which is not like the only thing that happens, but it is a dominant thing which happens, where moisture rolls in from the water to our west and then gets stuck on the mountains to our east and just hangs out over the city as clouds. And because that happens, the heat gets trapped and normalized. Like the heat of water bodies is much more stable than the heat of land. And so we're kind of like trapped under the clouds right next to the water. And we just have it be 50 degrees for like weeks at a time kind of thing. 50 degrees and overcast. So there's moisture up there, but it's not cold enough to actually snow. And then sometimes the clouds do disperse. And then it will get cold enough. Like it's been below freezing quite a bit the last couple of weeks. But the moisture's gone. So you can't really get snow because there's no moisture anymore. So we do get snow sometimes, but it is not super common. Because it doesn't really fit very naturally into that weather pattern, which is our norm, kind of. The underground tour is really cool in Seattle. When we first moved here, we had a bunch of people come visit us who had never been to Seattle before, and so I didn't really do any of the touristy stuff before I moved to Seattle, but after I moved to Seattle, I did like quite a few of the touristy things 3 or 4 times, like once every time someone came and visited because they wanted to see it. And the underground tour was my favorite. The Science Center, also a big favorite of mine. The other thing is that there's the Olympics to the west too, and the air goes both north and south of it and meets up again somewhere between Everett and Tacoma. Then the colder air from the north and the wetter air from the south cause light rain. Sounds right. It would be nice if you could recycle items. So if you actually take triangle and blood blank, you can get rid of one of them. Or if you find hunting trophy, you can discard your non-weapon sources of damage. I have negative range still. A little awkward. I should fix that at some point. I mean, I've made it this far. My speed is capped at 0. My speed is capped at 0. My range is positive. Problem solving. It's a horde wave, so we're gonna roll down here. Okay, that's far enough. Shamanut! Thanks for the 2 months. Horde waves usually okay until 30 seconds, where you're kind of forced into the corner. I imagine with these weapons, maybe stuck there. I have a lot of attack speed right now from Crystal, which I just lost all of. So, yeah, that's a thing. I want to be on this side, though, to be by the incendiary turret. Also, just don't have much in the way of sustain. Isn't really showing up. So that limits how aggressively I can play this, but it wasn't too bad in the end, was it? I'm gonna go more range, sure. We've gone from 0 range to 1 billion range. Tridents are doing all the work, that doesn't really surprise me. And that's some sustain for me. A chunk of material on the ground? Yeah, I can really get to it. 4 more melee damage than range damage will make the blunderbuss look worse. I think the reason the blunderbuss didn't perform very well there was it was a horde wave where I was forced away from being able to pick up materials. It certainly would do better with more range damage, but I think you'll see it actually do pretty well this wave without any as well. Yeah, like it's outperforming the tridents on a wave like that where I can pick up the materials. The thing is, like, you can't have 6 blunderbusses really, because on the horde wave you die. Because you can't pick up the materials, so you die. So you do need to build for the other weapons to be good, because the hard wave is the one where the blunderbuss doesn't do anything. But then, the rest of the waves, the blunderbuss can kill everything, and stuff will be pretty easy. It's weird how comfortable I feel. I was talking to a friend about this over the weekend. He was like, what is it like to have won 100 times in a row or whatever? And like my adrenaline response that I usually would get in a really deep streak has kind of just stopped happening because like my nervous system decided that I can't die, kind of. My fight or flight, like, heightened response thing is just like, nah, whatever, he's got this. We've been in worse spots than this before, come on. WC, thanks for 72 months, I appreciate it. We'll see. At some point I will lose, and so, like, you know. Able to stay in the middle on that one. You pre-ordered Civ 7. Are you often a pre-orderer of games? I think it should be good. I went to the panel at PAX? PAX, right? Yeah. Whatever the one is that's in Seattle. PAX, I think. My takeaway was that the people who make Civ are gargantuan nerds who really like Civ. So, like, I don't know. If they can't make Civ, I don't know who would be able to. Like, holy shit, those guys are nerds. In parenthesis, aspirational. Civ has been a game franchise, game series, for 30 years now? Longer? And so, for some of those guys, like, their entire adult life has just been making Civ, and they're like 50 now. It's kind of wild to grapple with. Like, usually when I think about a company existing for 30 or 40 years or whatever, I assume that there's like a bunch of turnover where they like started off with a range of ages in their employees, and then like, you know, occasionally an employee retires and comes in and everything. And that has definitely been happening at Firaxis over this time period. But also like quite a few, like most of the company when it started was young. And a good chunk of the first generation of employees are still there, have been for 30 years. Some of the people working on Civ 7 probably grew up playing the older games as children. Yes, also true. Also true. Why do I hit so hard? Weird roll. I just don't understand this character. Like, that enemy isn't cursed, so my character's passive bonus to deal more damage to cursed enemies is not applying there. What a bizarre game. I don't know. I don't get it. And still Civ 1 intro theme. I don't think I could do any of the first three. Baba Yetia, 100%. But that one like cleared out my brain for all the previous ones, I think. If I could have a full free redesign of my home, what would I change about it? Are you offering? I want like a gigantic bathroom that's gigantic bathroom where like water can get anywhere. Like there's a drain in the center of the floor or whatever, and there's like a huge bathtub, and the hot water lasts forever, and oh it would be so good. You've already renovated my home while I wasn't looking. Huh. I thought that was just the dishwasher running, but I guess, I guess the noise was something else. But I want a wall-mounted TV in my bathroom. I think I'd want the ability to read a book easily. And I would be okay with the solution for that being electronic, like a way for my Kindle to display on the wall or something, I don't know. Although I don't wear contacts, and so unless I'm wearing glasses, reading's a bit tricky. And I don't really want to read glasses while I am cleaning myself. Someone needs to invent hands which don't get the pages soggy. Hell yeah. Your cat just went 0 and 100? Why are you letting your cat play that much Brotato? Especially when it keeps losing. I think also having like a nice room for entertaining guests with enough space to like have 1 or 2 fun things to do in it is a big deal in a home for me. I kind of have that. I don't know. And having that connected in some way with the kitchen. I'm assuming that you're asking that question because you're thinking about what you want in a living space. I don't really know why else you'd be asking it. That is a thing that I would recommend looking into. Eugene, thanks for the 47 months. Appreciate it. Your cat has a few Osu world records. I believe you 100%. Of course it does. Nothing else would make sense. I don't know if double blunderbuss was right for this wave. There aren't actually that many materials on the ground, huh? GG! Sailor. Evil weapons. Trident greater than anchor. Blunderbuss. Good. Tapped on Horde waves. Is today the day? The day for playing all of those? Or the day for dying is curious?